The night was calm and quiet. King Vikramaditya walked through the forest with steady steps. On his strong shoulders, the ghost Betal hung skeletal and mischievous. O king, are you ready for another story that will test your wisdom? King Vikramaditya nodded silently, gripping his sword firmly. Long ago, in a small village, there lived a merchant named Rajan. Rajan was wealthy but always worried about dishonest traders. One day, he heard about a magical pearl that could multiply wealth if kept honest. The pearl was said to be hidden in a cave guarded by a mystical spirit. Rajan was eager to find the pearl and prepared for a journey. He packed his finest clothes, gold coins, and provisions for the trip. Along the way, he met a poor traveler named Shyam. Shyam was kind, humble, and honest, though he had no wealth. Rajan did not trust him at first, thinking that honesty would not help in a tricky adventure. But Shyam insisted on joining and promising to be helpful in finding the pearl. They traveled through the dense forest, crossed rivers, and climbed rocky hills. At night, Rajan often counted his coins, worried someone might steal them. Shyam, however, slept peacefully and was carrying nothing but a small satchel. Finally, they reached the cave where the magical pearl was hidden. The cave entrance was dark and eerie with strange carvings on the walls. Rajan hesitated at the mouth of the cave. Shyam encouraged him by saying, "Honesty and courage will guide us, merchant." Inside, they found the mystical spirit waiting, glowing with ethereal light. The spirit spoke, "Only the pure heart may take the pearl, but you will face a test." Rajan and Shyam exchanged nervous glances. "What is the test?" Rajan asked cautiously. The spirit replied, "I will place a bag of gold and the pearl before you. Take one, but not both." Rajan's eyes sparkled at the gold, while Shyam remained calm. Rajan thought of his family and wealth. Shyam thought only of doing the right thing. The spirit added, "If you lie or cheat, the cave will trap you forever." Rajan hesitated, but greed whispered in his ear. Shyam knelt down, showing humility and respect. The spirit moved closer. "Now, both of you choose wisely." Rajan reached for the bag of gold first. Shyam shook his head gently, leaving both items untouched. Suddenly, the gold bag vanished, leaving only the pearl. The spirit said, "Your choice shows the true heart, one pure, one tempted." Rajan felt ashamed, but realized he could still choose the pearl honestly. He pushed the pearl towards Shyam, saying that, "You deserve it more than I do." Shyam smiled and said, "Honesty guides us better than greed, O merchant." The spirit nodded and said, "Because of your honesty, the pearl's magic will benefit both of you." Rajan and Shyam returned to the village with the pearl. Rajan shared his wealth with villagers and became respected for his honesty. Shyam continued his humble life, teaching people about truth and fairness. People marveled at the story of the merchant and the honest traveler. Time passed, and Rajan grew wiser, realizing that honesty and fairness mattered more than gold. One day, another traveler asked Rajan for advice about wealth and honesty. Rajan told him, "True treasure lies in truth, not in riches." Shyam agreed and said, "The heart that remains honest will always find success." Meanwhile, the mystical pearl multiplied the wealth for good deeds and charity. No greedy hand could ever misuse it. Villagers learned the value of honesty from Rajan and Shyam. The merchant understood that temptation is strong, but choice defines character. Shyam's pure example inspired many to follow the path of truth. A festival was held every year in their honor, celebrating honesty. Children played games about honesty and fairness, learning the lesson early. Rajan often remembered the mystical spirit's words: honesty is rewarded, dishonesty is punished. He made sure that every business deal in the village remained fair. One day, a band of thieves tried to trick the villagers. Rajan and Shyam caught them with clever planning without violence. The thieves admitted their mistakes and promised to follow honesty. Rajan and Shyam forgave them, teaching them kindness and truth. The mystical pearl glowed brightly every full moon, reminding the villagers of honesty. Rajan sometimes wished he had been honest from the start, but he was glad that Shyam's guidance helped him learn the true value of truth. The village prospered, but not because of the wealth alone. It prospered because honesty built trust and unity. Even kings sent envoys to learn their secret. Rajan taught them that honesty is a choice, not a duty. Shyam reminded them that the heart must be sincere. Parents would use Rajan's story to teach patience and truthfulness. Rajan and Shyam became symbols of virtue and integrity. The villagers continued to celebrate the story every year. They taught honesty in schools and marketplaces. Rajan and Shyam's friendship strengthened with mutual respect. They advised young traders to always choose truth over wealth. Many young villagers vowed to follow the path of honesty. Even the merchants of the neighboring cities respected their teachings. Rajan lived a long life known for fairness, generosity, and truth. Shyam continued his humble life, guiding others quietly. Together, they left a legacy that no gold could match. The villagers knew that honesty was more valuable than any treasure. Rajan often reflected on his journey and his mistakes. Shyam reminded him that everyone learns through experience. The mystical spirit smiled, watching from far. Rajan and Shyam's village became a model for honesty and integrity. Rajan's family honored his legacy, continuing his teachings. Shyam's wisdom influenced neighboring villages and towns. The magical pearl's power remained, blessing those who acted with truth. Rajan and Shyam's bond showed that pure friendship and honesty go hand in hand. The village thrived, guided by the principles of fairness, truth, and integrity. Betal stopped his story and asked, "O King Vikram, now tell me, who truly deserved the pearl? And why did the mystical spirit allow both to benefit? Was Rajan's initial greed punished or forgiven? And what was the most important lesson from this test?" King Vikramaditya thought for a while and spoke calmly. Shyam, the honest traveler, truly deserved the pearl because his heart was pure and he acted selflessly without desire for wealth. Rajan's greed was corrected through guidance, showing that even flawed hearts can learn honesty. The spirit allowed both to benefit because honesty, once chosen, brings prosperity for all. True wealth lies in honesty, selflessness, and integrity. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.